Welcome, friends, to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Thursday, December 16th, 2021. I am Timur Singh, and I'm joined by my brother from another mother. It's Tim Gettys.
I love just seeing your background kind of evolve over time.
Slowly,
It's one of my
right? Yeah.
favorite things about this work from home era is like, especially people have been moving around a lot. Everyone's changing their setups. And I love that we're still in this cycle of like the upgrades, but I feel like everyone has gotten the come up
Yeah,
over this stuff, right?
it's
Like all of a
evolving.
sudden, a whole bunch of these nerd ass motherfuckers are all of a sudden like, oh, interior design matters, you know? So there's some upsides.
So current problems I need to figure out is this camera, for some reason, the mount that I've got it on, it always angles the camera so you can see the room is at a slight slant. Which is annoying to me, but I'm going to figure it out, hopefully. The other thing is this camera has this function where it tracks my face. If I move slightly, you can see it like moving along. And I know people hate that, but I just cannot turn it off. Like there is an option to turn it off, but when I turn it off, it's like, no. And it just carries on doing it. Tim,
it reminds me of the Connect. Back in the day when we first started doing kind of funny stuff, we did our like Patreon Q&A things where we would do like one-on-ones with best friends out there. And for a while we used Greg's Connect that came with his Xbox One. And we couldn't turn it off either. And it would just follow us. And it would always zoom in on Nick in the weirdest ways.
Yeah, I've tried to turn it off. I think I need to do some sort of like factory reset on this one because I've got this. It's a Canon EOS R. I've got this one does the face tracking won't turn off. I've got another one which I use for streaming and it won't let me turn off the sleep timer. Like so every like 15 minutes it's like I'm turning off, bro. And it happens during streams all the time. I have to like constantly on the slide just touch the camera so it knows. Before we get into it, Tim, I want to tell you something that happened to me overnight. I've had very little sleep. I've been extremely tired. And the reason I had very little sleep is because most of the night it sounded like my neighbors were talking so loudly. Like I could not understand it. They were having a conversation about ridiculous things. I couldn't hear the specificity of what was actually being said. I could just hear them through a wall. And it was all night. Like it started and I was like, how are these people not going to sleep? And why is there no pauses? It's like jokes happening and it's constant. This morning I got up and it was still going. I was like drifting in and out of sleep. It was still going. I was like, why can't I hear it? And I started walking to my kitchen. I was like, why is it getting louder?
Oh no.
I came into this room and at some point my phone had connected to my office Echo device and was playing the Kind of Funny podcast on a loop.
No, that is literally a nightmare. Having those buffoons.
So it was just like in a queue, it was just going through podcasts and like it was everyone just like loudly talking. And I came in here and I was like, these motherfuckers, they kept me up all night. And I had no idea.
That's awesome. I apologize. My past me was an asshole and I apologize for that.
It was you know what? I was mad and then I was like, you know what? This makes sense. I can only laugh at that. That is good.
Oh man.
Of course, as always, we're going to go through the highlights of December 16th in history. 1972, December 16th to January 5th. Billy Paul's Me and Mrs. Jones, #1 hit. Great song. And then 2006, the #1 hit was Beyonce's Irreplaceable. From December 16th to February 23rd. That's
my
wild.
brother's birthday.
That's a long time. In 2010, CNN's Larry King live aired its last original episode. I don't know what that means. I'm sure Larry King is very important to a lot of Americans. In 2009, Avatar, a science fiction thriller directed by James Cameron, was released internationally. It went on to make more than $2.7 billion worldwide.
Where do you stand on Avatar?
I could not care less about it.
But like, do you hate it?
No, I don't care. I'm ambivalent to it.
Did you experience it in 3D?
I did not know. I don't think I've ever seen it start to finish. I just.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's one of those things where I just like I cannot care. I do not care. I don't hate things. I'm either I love something, I don't mind it, or I'm ambivalent. I'm never like this is awful unless we're talking about crypto, NFTs, and Bitcoin and all that kind of buns. Actively hate that shit. Yeah. And 2011, Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Chipwrecked, and Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol were released in theaters.
Now, I want to say something that Kevin knows, but Sherlock Holmes is one of my favorite movies of all time. The Robert Downey Jr. one.
Both of them?
The first one is legitimately one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's fucking incredible. And I've never seen the second one.
That's insane.
I know.
And
Kev,
why?
I can't believe you don't remember this. You've been trying to get me to watch it for over a decade at this point.
Tim, I've been getting you to watch things for a long time. And
I know.
It's
all a thing of circumstance. I've owned the second one on 4 different variations of Blu-ray discs. I've just never watched it. I hate it. I hate my life. I don't know what I'm doing.
I just want to be absolutely clear. Like the second one isn't like amazing.
Yeah.
It's a continuation. It's probably not even as strong as the first one.
No.
But it's in the same vein, you know?
That's what you've been telling me this for a decade, Kev. I've got to set the time aside and just make it all happen.
It feels like a DLC expansion for the first movie.
I'll take it.
Yeah, it's fine. Birthdays for December 16th. Ludwig van Beethoven, composer. It was born on this day. Arthur C. Clarke, British science fiction writer. Philip K. Dick, also American writer. Shane Black, screenwriter, director, American actor. Bill Hicks. Kristen Ritter.
Oh, shit.
And then I don't know why I put this one in, but Zara Larson. I forgot to delete that. I don't know who that is. Today's stories include some more info on the Splinter Cell remake, Final Fantasy XIV being too popular for its own good, and a new Ghostbusters game, and more. Because this is Kind of Funny Games Daily, where each and every weekday at 10 a.m. live, right here on twitch.tv/Kind of Funny Games, we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about. If you're watching live, you can contact us when we get stuff wrong, which never happens, by going to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong. Forget that URL, you won't need it. If you don't want to watch live, you can watch later on youtube.com/Kind of Funny Games. And roosterteeth.com, or listen later on podcast services around the globe by searching for Kind of Funny Games Daily. Remember, you can, as always, use Epic creator code Kind of Funny on all Epic Store and Epic in-game purchases. So if you're playing Fortnite or Rocket League or whatever else, make sure you use that code, and it helps the Kind of Funny crew out. To be part of the show, head to patreon.com/Kind of Funny Games, where bronze members are above get to write in, and silver members or above get the show along with the exclusive daily post show, and it's ad-free, baby. Housekeeping. I mean, goddamn, one time let it be a bad game of sweeping. This is the last week of regular content.
And let me stop you right there. We're burying the lead. Happy Spider-Man Day, everybody.
Happy Spider-Man Day.
Happening. No Way Home is out today in theaters, and we're seeing it together, Tam. I'm really excited about that.
I'm very excited about it, yeah.
So everybody, keep in mind right now, the spoiler-free review is up over on youtube.com/Kind of Funny. And then, of course, this Friday, the in-review, full spoilers, all of that. We're going all in. We're going hard. Greg Miller making his return. It will be up, and that will be the last piece of content up on the Kind of Funny Prime channel for the year. Please enjoy it. We love you. Thank you for an amazing year of in-review.
For sure. God, I love in-review so much. I've been listening to it. I saw Anthony Carboni at the Game Awards.
Well, guess what, Tam?
Yeah.
You're going to see him again.
Oh, today?
Today. He's coming to Spider-Man.
He's coming down.
Baby.
Let's go. He was aggro. He was trolling me hard. I don't think he knows who I am. I think
he knows who you are.
I think he was like, Lucy told him to tell me that he likes The Streets, which is a UK, I want to say musical act, because I'm not going to use the phrase rapper, because what The Streets does is not rapping. It's like anti-rap. It's like the oh God, it makes me hurt every time I hear them.
It is the only song I know by them.
Oh my God, original pirate material. It's just like, it makes me cringe so hard. But yeah, he was just constantly telling me how much he loves them. And I was like, you need to stop, Anthony. You're triggering me. And I know you're doing it on purpose. The Blessing Show will be up on Monday the 20th. And then it looks like the Kind of Funny crew is going to be back on January 3rd, which is, please be excited for 2022 Kind of Funny. Yeah. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Pranksy, Blackjack, and Greg Miller returns to content next month. Nick should quit now. I've been trying to do it with the Busan energy just to
Yeah.
get people warmed up. I'm not as
Mhm.
good. I don't have the chaoticness that he has, but I'm trying, you know. Today we're brought to you by Credit Karma, Amazon Music, Green Chef, and ButcherBox, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin with what is and will forever be the Roper Report. It's time for some news. Ooh.
Whoa.
We've got 4 stories today. The first one is an update on the Splinter Cell banter. This comes from the #1 video game website in the world, GameSpot.com. Let's go. I've had some people reach out to me to tell me that the GameSpot.com bit is getting old. I want you to know I hear you, I'm listening, and I don't care. This story comes
tell 'em
from
those fucking
Jessica
nerds.
Howard. This comes from Jessica Howard.
Hey, shout out to Jessica Howard, by the way.
Shout out to Jessica Howard, brand new
community best friend for a very long time, and now she's working at GameSpot. You love to see it.
She is working at GameSpot. I am actively talking to her, helping her through. She's in day 3 of working for GameSpot, and she's already doing great. Love to see it. Following the announcement that a remake of 2002's iconic stealth shooter game, Splinter Cell, is currently in the works over at Ubisoft, Ubisoft Toronto managing director Istvan Tanja has taken to the studio's official blog to clear up a few questions, as well as shed greater light on the upcoming project. So, according to Tanja, Ubisoft Toronto will be helming the project, and they are excited to undertake it with pride. And it also serves as a bit of a full circle moment for many of the staff on that team, because they were initially recruited to work on 2013 Splinter Cell Blacklist. Not the best Splinter Cell, but a good Splinter Cell. I think it was very good, actually, anyway. One of my favorite Splinter Cell moments is, I can't remember which one it is. It's the one where you're on that like the ship that's constantly in air, and anytime you go into like a part of the ship that you're not supposed to be in, there's a guy, an NPC, who's standing there who goes, "Fisher, restricted area." Like, he's like, "What are you doing?" So like when me and my brother used to be at home and I'd walk into his room without knocking, he'd be like, "Fisher, restricted area." So like I love that game for that.
Fucking nerds, I love it.
Splinter Cell is fully part of the studio's DNA and the studio's roots, Tanja said. We know how the high expectations of the fans are for us to modernize the brand while making absolutely sure we don't lose any of its essence. So we want to make sure that Splinter Cell fans really love it. So the other thing that they said was what it takes to ship games of the scope at this high quality, they've learned, and they know it's incredibly challenging to produce 2 games because they are also working on another title of that scope, but they've learned, taken some lessons to it. So along with the importance of collaboration, resilience, and trust, the team is taking that into the new Splinter Cell remake. As for what we know about the game itself, it's going to be on the Snowdrop engine. Previously was on Division, and is currently being used on the upcoming Star Wars and Avatar Frontiers of Pandora games. And it will feature dynamic lighting and shadows that will be incorporated into the game's level design, as well as a linear narrative that might subvert expectations fans had for another open world sandbox style game from the company. They said there will be some changes made to the game, particularly in terms of how protagonist Sam Fisher moves. Technical producer Peter Handrinos said that exploration and innovation will be key parts of the Splinter Cell remake, while producer Matt West added that this is all part of the company's plan to redefine stealth action games and straddle the line between the spirit of old and the comfort of the new. Tanja is optimistic about the project, saying he sees a bright future for Splinter Cell that will satisfy its core audience. "I want the studio to revive the Splinter Cell brand," Tanja said, "to really satisfy its core audience that is very hungry for a new Splinter Cell, and also broaden the horizons of the series for new players. I see a bright new future for Splinter Cell." There you have it. A lot of big talk about Splinter Cell happening right now. How do you feel about it, Tim?
I mean, I think it's exciting that they're finally kind of speaking to the audience that's been waiting for this forever. It is a little disheartening that it's going to be so far out. Like, obviously, this is a very early project that doesn't fully exist yet. And with video games, we know that unlike movies, which things are announced, and then once they're like fully greenlit and in production, we know we're getting them within about 2 years. With this, it's like, it might be a lot longer than that. It's an interesting thing, because this is what a lot of people in the industry have been asking for a while, which is just let us know what games are being worked on. It doesn't need to be this whole pomp and circumstance reveal and like secrecy and all that stuff. I'm firmly on the other side of that. Like, I don't know. This isn't fun. This is lame. I want excitement. I want the hype. But I'm Tim Geddes. Everybody expects that from me. So I understand that there's like the two sides of the industry on that. But when it comes to trying to hire up and all that, like this is the way you do it, especially when you're Ubisoft in the situations they're in right now. And things are really bad over there, right? So I feel like anything that they can kind of do to entice people, which is, problematic in its own right. But I think this is good news for Splinter Cell. It being a remake is interesting. It sounds like it's going to be a pretty dramatic remake, more akin to a Resident Evil 2 remake than something that's just like the exact same thing again. So that's, I think this has the potential to be something really cool. But we also need to remember that the last remake that Ubisoft was working on was Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, and look where that's at right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is one of those things where I'm not the biggest Splinter Cell person, so I don't really care too much. To me, it's more just like this is like not an exciting announcement, but I'm really happy it's happening. I just wish that it was a little bit more of a, hey, here's a reveal, and it's actually coming in the next year or two.
Yeah, I can't remember who said this on Twitter, but I'm gonna steal from it. But like, it feels, I think it might have been Steven Totillo or someone like that. But I'm excited for. I am a big Splinter Cell game. I'm a big stealth game fan, and Metal Gear is always going to be number one for me. But Splinter Cell was close behind it. So I'm like super, super, super excited that they're actually making a Splinter Cell game, and also the fact that it seems like they're not just going to do a standard remake. They want to try and push the genre forward or push the franchise a bit forward. There's a massive space right now in that genre, the AAA stealth game, that no one is occupying purely by virtue of Metal Gear is no longer around. Like the throne has been vacated by the king, and now it's open for it to be taken. So it makes sense that they would be like, we could take this and try and do it. The thing that I'm kind of reticent about is there's clearly not a great understanding of what this means at Ubisoft. Like this kind of announcement, the fact that you're not hype about it, and the fact that you're like, you are clearly saying like, you're right, this is not how you announce a new Splinter Cell game, is kind of evidence that Ubisoft doesn't quite understand the thirst for it, and they might be not quite grasping how much people love this and how much it means to them.
Well, let me ask you a question there. And this is just a question. I'm not like trying to imply anything behind it, but is there demand for it? I know there's demand, but is there demand of consequence? Like, I know that there's a loud group of people that have been waiting for Splinter Cell, but is this a Mirror's Edge Catalyst situation where, for years in the live chat, I guess that didn't exist back then. But if there was a live chat while the E3 press conferences were happening for EA back then, it would have just been Mirror's Edge, just like Skate 4. It would have been Splinter Cell like it is now.
I think the difference is with Mirror's Edge, that always had a niche audience. The sales of it weren't like astronomical. And it was a kind of a beloved game. So those people campaigned for another one. And those people are probably the people that bought it. The expectation is different for Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell, when it came out, and that franchise, it hit a broader audience. It was like we said, it was the reaction to Metal Gear, and
it was
also,
Xboxes.
And it was Xboxes.
Back then, like people don't remember that Xbox didn't have much, but it had Splinter Cell. It had Splinter Cell. It had Knights of the Old Republic. It had Halo. Like this was a pre-Gears era.
Yeah, this was the stealth game aligned with the Xbox brand, and Metal Gear was the PlayStation stealth game up until it went multi-plat. But so it has the potential to do more. I think there's more people asking for it because there's more brand recognition. The thing is, it is also quite a dated franchise now. I don't know how many people now remember kind of Splinter Cell or know it. I mean, Ubisoft has done small things to try and keep people remembering Splinter Cell and Sam Fisher. They stuck him in, Rainbow Six Siege, but he doesn't play or act like his old school version. I would have been surprised. I would have thought they would re-release older games as is to be like, hey, we're building up for this, new Splinter Cell, but they're going for the other route. Whether it will perform super well, who knows? The gaming audience in the time Sam's been away has like exploded, and it is a massive, massive audience now. So the people who now, just because it's people that have jumped out of a pond and now are in the ocean, the Splinter Cell fans are probably small compared to what they would have been back in the day. But I still feel like the franchise has the potential to be a big deal. It just needs to not be an Ubisoft game. That's the problem. If it comes out and people look at it and they immediately they can see the template, that's going to be a problem, because right now there's Ubisoft template fatigue, which I think is going to be the killer for that franchise. If they've done like stuff like open world, tower shit, that kind of business, they've talked about how it's a linear story in there. But if they make it look like another Ubisoft game, that's going to be the thing that pushes a lot of people away. Whereas if they pitch it as we've got a unique take on the stealth genre and we've got Sam is back, that could do the business. I mean, open world stealth can be done. Metal Gear Solid 5 did it, and it is
Totally.
fantastic. It is phenomenal. I think it's the best stealth game ever made. But I don't know. It's all on Ubisoft to kind of put in the work, and that's the thing. Like for Splinter Cell to be big again, Ubisoft needs to understand it deeply, put in the work to raise awareness around it, and then deliver a good game. This isn't the best start, where they basically quiet farted out an announcement. Like they should have been like, Sam Fisher is back, baby, and did like a Blur CG trailer. And there's games with less history that put more kind of like pageantry around the announcement of their new entry or a new kind of like game coming than this did. And this is supposed to be one of the biggest franchises in Ubisoft's catalog. It's kind of like announced with a whimper, which is sad.
Yeah.
I would have preferred if they made a bigger deal out of it, which isn't the best start for me.
Yeah, totally. It's a bizarre choice and not a choice that I am a fan of, for sure.
Yeah. Next story is an update on something that has been ongoing, comes from the second best video game website in the world. Yes, the bit is still going. It is GameSpot.com, written by very own James Carr. This is the Bungie CEO responding to reports of toxic workplace culture. So you might be thinking, oh, didn't they talk about this yesterday? Yeah, or the day before? Yeah, this is an ongoing thing stemming from the report that IGN's Rebecca Valentine did. We're going to come to an update from her as well. So developer Bungie has released a statement in response to a report that it has struggled with issues of sexism and crunch in the workplace. A letter written by Bungie CEO Pete Parsons was released shortly after IGN published a report in which he focused on the changes Bungie has made in recent history, while acknowledging the company has more work to do and that these changes do not erase any pain employees have suffered. The report includes statements and experiences from 26 current and former employees, most of which spoke anonymously, described Bungie that had dealt with issues of abusive management across nearly every department since 2011. In many instances, the department leaders and managers would belittle, overwork, and abuse people in their department, often targeting women and people of color. So in the past, the letter from Parsons, he doesn't deny or refute the report, but instead focuses on the improvement Bungie has made in recent years. Says, I'm not here to refute or challenge the experiences we're seeing shared today by people who have graced our studio with their time and talent. Our actions, or in some cases, inactions, cause these people pain. I apologize personally and on behalf of everyone at Bungie who I feel a deep sense of empathy and sadness reading through these accounts, Parsons wrote. Listed the changes made, including the removal of some bad actors at Bungie. However, he acknowledged that this can only occur when brave people come forward. He also stated that Bungie has not always done this publicly, nor has it done it as quickly as it should have. Parsons stated that based on a report, many abusive and toxic individuals are no longer at the company. But if new information comes to light, they will investigate it. Parsons pointed to delayed releases of Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, and The Witch Queen for Destiny 2 as a way to lessen the amount of crunch at the studio and put the health of its employees first. Lastly, shared more information about continued increase in the percentage of employees that are women and or from underrepresented groups, linking to the September report on the matter, and acknowledged these improvements that don't happen these improvements don't change what happened to employees in the past, nor does it erase the suffering they experience. He said, "I'm heartened by the progress we have made, but it's not enough, and it has taken too long. It does not sweep away the bad experiences people have had at our studios pass and through." So, update on that story coming from Rebecca Valentine, who published the original report. Excellent report, amazing ongoing coverage done by Rebecca at IGN. Make sure you go and check that out. I'll allow them to share their number 2 video game website spot for today only. Bungie's head of HR, Gail DeHont, apologies if I'm butchering that name, is stepping down from her role at the company after more than 14 years today, IGN has learned. In an email circulated to employees today, which IGN has seen in full, DeHont reflected on her time at the company, saying that she wants to do everything in my power to make sure everyone who works here has a safe, welcoming, and supportive environment. She then cited the need for for the company's people team to move forward with membership largely comprised of people new to Bungie. I know that they need to be trusted to be your advocates, not labeled as enablers or seen as company resources who provide bad actors with safe harbor, she wrote. Dawn is officially stepping out of her official role as senior employee relations manager, but it's not clear whether or not she will remain at the company. In her email, she states that she will work with Holly Barbakovi, who's chief people officer, and the people officer is not a great title, and the leadership team at Bungie to determine what the appropriate next steps are. In a message, DeHont mentioned that her time at Bungie had included working through deeply challenging interpersonal conflicts, including termination of employees for performance, bad behavior, and for discrimination, racism, and sexual harassment. She added that this included reporting her own abuser, a man, an executive, and someone I thought was my friend at Bungie, which resulted in Bungie firing him. And then concluded in an email, "I'm proud of the work I did at this company. I believe I made recommendations that were in the best interest of our people and in service of the company we wish to become. I also believe that we made some mistakes, and that to become a better version of ourselves, the company I know we can be, we have to acknowledge and confront them in good faith and grow together." The announcement comes less than a week after IGN's extensive report on Bungie's work culture. So, Pete Parsons coming out and saying, "Yep, we screwed up. We're going to try and make things better." And then there is a senior member of staff at HR stepping down. It seems like they're making genuine efforts here. It's great to see them not shying away from the fact that they have made these mistakes, which is not an amazing achievement, but given the things that we're seeing from other companies who are actively trying to like sweep it under the rug and doing union busting and all that kind of stuff, having Bungie come out and be like, "Yeah, we screwed up. Yeah, we're trying to fix this, and we're listening," is they're doing the least, but it's good to do. Good to see it happening. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. And, as we talk about these stories day in and day out on this show, it's always difficult because, the only right answer is this shit just not happening to begin with, in which case we wouldn't be talking about it. But here we are talking about it. This stuff is happening. It's continuing to happen. It's happening all over the place. Big companies, small companies, I'm a broken record at this point. But what I do think we need to support is this type of transparency, and is this type of leadership and changes actually happening, them talking about the bad faith actors and all that actually being let go, and that they are acting on their words, and also they're using their words. They are not hiding. They are not not putting out or hiding behind like PR statements or whatever. They are having their people come out and talk and explain what's going on at their company. And again, it's not perfect. I think that anytime any apology or any statement like this is put out, it's going to be picked apart and line by line looked at and word by word looked at and questioned, and why this and why that, and well, this isn't enough, you should have done this, and all of that is fair, and all that's going to continue to happen, and to a certain extent should keep happening. But I do think that they're handling this to the best of their ability with the reality of where they're at least as far as we know. Right. And if what they're saying here is actually what is going on there, then that is, in my opinion, as good of a situation as we can have, given the state of the situation.
Yeah, I'm not the kind. I don't like to praise companies when they do stuff, because, like I said earlier, you're doing the least. Like this shouldn't happen, and we shouldn't be in a position where, an outlet needs to put out there the fact that this is happening. You should be taking care of it. So, I don't like to praise, but I will say that credit where credit is due. Like the fact that this HR person, Gail DeHont, looked around and was like, I'm perceived as part of the problem, and to get this stuff done, I need to get out of the way. that's good to know. Like, who knows what the involvement Gale had in this, but the fact that they're willing to recognize that for people to trust the process, I need to not be a part of it is good. And like we said earlier, like it could be worse. We could have a Bobby Kotick style, situation where they've mobilized a team of people to make people at the studio who are talking about it quiet. I think the important thing for people who are watching this is to, when you see people at the studio talking about this stuff, try and support them, because it creates a situation where, or it creates an environment where people feel good about talking about it in public and letting others know. The more people that are openly talking about it and the more encouragement they're given to do that, the more we get an insight into how much of the problem needs addressing. Because given the chance, I'm not saying Bungie will do this, but a lot of companies will do just enough to kind of let the heat die down and move on, but it's usually not the full extent of what needs to be addressed. So when you support people and you give them the kind of platform and the opportunity to speak about some of the issues publicly, you kind of expose the full extent of the issue, and then that helps the people within those companies that actually do want to do something about it get a good grasp of it, and then there's no excuses. So get behind these people when you can, and show them some support when they are talking about some of the issues that they're facing.
Yeah, I do want to say that not that I disagree with you, but I'm slightly on a different side of you when it comes to the praising companies thing, and I think that it's totally fair and understandable, because like the word company and all that stuff like means a lot, but I really see this as there are individuals that make up a company, and it's easy to just lump it all into one thing. But when individuals are doing the right thing or trying to do the right thing, that is something that I feel deserves praise, and those are the people that should be representing that company, and that's what can make the company go from a bad thing to a good thing. And I think that these type of choices here, like the way that these people are speaking, it's like this is that I do think is worthy of praise. And I understand it's like praise is like a weird thing in this type of situation because it shouldn't have happened to begin with. But again, it did happen. So now we just need to deal with the realities that we're at. So that's just where I'm at. I feel like I just really want to say, because when in a world where this is happening everywhere, and this is one of the only examples we have of people doing not even just the right thing, quote unquote, doing anything in even the right direction, I think is like something that I want to talk about, because this is what I want to see more of from other people, at least as a step. It's not the end all be all, but it is a step.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm of the opinion, the way I see it is like Bungie is, I should make a distinction between a company like Bungie now and a company like Activision Blizzard or Ubisoft. When they do it, like, I don't care about giving them like applause for it, because it's clearly like you got way more to do. But when a company like Bungie, which is smaller, even though we think of them as being massive, they are smaller. It's good to acknowledge that stuff. So you are you are right.
Maybe meeting in the middle of me and you, I don't want to give him a round of applause, but I do want to look at him and give him a firm head nod of like,
go like, good. Yes, keep at it. We are watching. Keep at it. Remember, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, where you can get this show ad free. But speaking of ads, we're about to give you a word from our sponsors. Hit it, Kev.
This episode is brought to you by ButcherBox. If you ask me, the holidays are all about winning, whether that means getting the best gifts or cooking the best food. And when it comes to serving up the best holiday meals, especially meat, quality matters. Every month, ButcherBox ships a curated selection of high-quality meat straight to your home with free shipping in the continental U.S. There's no antibiotics or added hormones, and each box contains between 8 to 14 pounds of meat, depending on what you choose. I love ButcherBox. Recently, me and G got some of this, and oh man, the steak was fantastic. I just love meat, and ButcherBox makes that love a reality in my household. This holiday, ButcherBox is giving new members 1 pack of bacon for free in every box, plus $20 off each box for the first 5 months of your membership. That's free bacon for life and up to $100 off. Sign up at butcherbox.com/KFGD. That's butcherbox.com/KFGD. BUTCHERBOX.com/KFGD. Next up, shout out to Green Chef. Green Chef is America's #1 meal kit for eating well with dinners that work for you, not the other way around. Green Chef makes cooking easy so you can spend less time planning and prepping and more time eating delicious home-cooked meals. Plus, Green Chef has options that fit every lifestyle: keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, fast and fit, Mediterranean, and gluten-free, giving everybody options from Blessing to Kevin and his family, with Paula being a vegetarian. Green Chef is now owned by HelloFresh, and between the two of them, there's now something to choose for literally everyone. Both HelloFresh and Green Chef are awesome, so sometimes that choice is a little hard in a good way. I've been loving Green Chef. Every once in a while, Gia cooks it. It's been a wonder for Cool Greg and Blessing, like I was saying. Go to greenchef.com/KFGD10 and use code KFGD10 to get 10 free meals, including free shipping. That's greenchef.com/KFGD10 and code KFGD10 to get 10 free meals and free shipping. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well. Next up, shout out to Credit Karma. If you've ever applied for a credit card or personal loan and been rejected, you know how frustrating it is and how dang often it seems to happen. That's why Credit Karma is changing the way people find and apply for cards and loans. Whether you're refinancing credit card debt or paying for an upcoming expense, Credit Karma uses your credit data to show you fresh personal loan offers that are personalized just for you. Members who compare loan offers on Credit Karma save an average of 30% on interest rates. That's a lot. It's totally free and easy to sign up for a Credit Karma account with no effect on your credit score. Credit Karma will even show you your approval odds so you can choose offers that you're more likely to get approved for and apply with more confidence. On Credit Karma, you can check out multiple loan offers side by side with easy to compare estimated terms. Ready to apply? Head to creditkarma.com/loan offers to see personalized offers with your approval odds right now. Go to creditkarma.com/loan offers to find the loan for you. That's creditkarma.com/loan offers. And finally, shout out to Amazon Music. You clearly have great taste in podcasts because you're listening to this right now, but why not try out Amazon Music? Amazon Music has more than 10 million free podcast episodes to listen to, but it's not just podcasts. They also have thousands of music stations and top playlists to stream for free. You can try out Amazon Music Unlimited that gives you unlimited access to over 75 million songs, plus podcast, music videos, and more with unlimited skips. I have been getting hype for Spider-Man No Way Home coming out, and I've been listening to a lot of the scores of previous Marvel movies from Marvel Studios projects, and I've been listening to it all using Amazon Music. If you've never tried Amazon Music Unlimited, now is a great time. For a limited time, new customers can try Amazon Music Unlimited free for 3 months, no credit card required. Just go to amazon.com/KFGD. That's amazon.com/KFGD to try Amazon Music Unlimited free for 3 months. Amazon.com/KFGD. Renews automatically, cancel anytime, terms apply.
Our third story of the day comes from the third best video game website on the internet, wouldn't you know? It is, of course, GameSpot.com, written by Jenny Zheng, who writes, Final Fantasy sales have been suspended due to server congestion.
What?
Yes.
This is the wildest story ever.
Since Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker's release, long queues to even get into the game servers have been a headache for both players and devs. In response to the long wait times, Square Enix released another announcement with what steps it's taking to address the congestion. Unexpectedly, Square Enix will now temporarily suspend the sales of both Final Fantasy XIV's base game and the Complete Edition. Free trial registration for new accounts will also be put on hold, as well as new advertisements. It's unknown how long the policy will last for, but the company will continue to monitor the situation as they consider the timing around resuming sales. Players will be compensated with 14 days of free playtime, another week tacked onto the previous promised 7 days. Error 2002, the infamous sign you're about to get kicked out back to the queue, even when after waiting patiently, has been confirmed to be tied to a bug. Square Enix maintains that if you have an unstable internet connection, you could trigger Error 2002. But in some cases, certain players' Error 2002 have been coming in from a bug related to a login related program called Back In at Final Fantasy XIV version 1.00, created back in. Final Fantasy XIV version 1.0. The company will implement the code fix for the bug in patch 6.01, scheduled for release on December 21. The good news is the Era 2002 inspired great ire from the community due to the fact that you needed to babysit the hours long queue to get into the game. If you took your eyes off the error and it popped up, you didn't try logging in fast enough to reestablish your connection, your queue place would be lost. So, Final Fantasy, too popular for its own good, so popular that they were like, we got to stop selling this game, which is wild to think about where that game is at, just in the grand scheme of things, where the original version of that game came out and people were like, this sucks. This game is bad. And now look at it, it's so popular that I've never heard of a case where a company's been like, we got to stop selling this game.
It's crazy. I mean, like, this is, as far as I know, unheard of, and it's such a success story. I mean, we don't need to go into Final Fantasy XIV's ridiculous comeback, right? But especially after the Game Awards, like winning the awards and all that, it's like it's having such a moment right now. Everyone's so into this game, and man, this is a story I never ever thought we'd have.
I'm glad that is happening. It is a hell of a kind of comeback story for it, and it's also like really interesting because I now more than ever people are making the jump to it, and they're people that I see a lot of people are like, I've never played an MMO, but I cannot stop hearing about this game, and I just need to check it out. And the fact that they have like the trial, which is like most of the original A Realm Reborn game just for free, is absolutely wild.
That's nuts.
It is nuts. Like I'm now playing through that for the third time because my characters keep getting trapped on servers I cannot access, but I will get to the first expansion one day, and maybe by the time I'm on my deathbed, I'll get out of that and into Endwalker. But like seeing it break, I never thought that this is like, I would love to see comparisons of Final Fantasy's current like player base and the height of its popularity to World of Warcraft, but back in its day, because that was the game that felt like took MMOs to another level. This feels like the first MMO since WoW to have a WoW moment, where it's just like no one can stop talking about it, everyone is playing it, and people who don't even care about MMOs, RPGs, or fantasy shit are just like dying to play it, and it's crippling servers across the world.
Well, that's the thing, man. Just numbers are different because of the times we're in, right? Gaming is more mainstream than ever, and it's the same type of thing we always talk about, how old games, like even on Super Nintendo, the best games only sold a handful of millions of copies. Now you put out the same iterations of the same franchise and they are 10x times the sales, right? Just because the potential user base is so much larger. And when you add on things like the various ways to play, whether games are on more consoles than ever, more services than ever, more platforms, more this and that, whatever, mobile, all of that. When you are talking about these MMOs, it's like there's just so much potential for access to be able to play.
And then like this is a game that has benefited massively off like people being trapped inside for 2 years. Like and you cannot, like when we say you cannot escape it, like you can't resist the pull to play it, because what else are you going to do? Like for the last few years, where are you going to go? You might as well escape into this massive, RPG universe where you can escape the real world, and it is by all accounts incredible, and everyone won't shut up about it. So like it's Final Fantasy is like in like a perfect moment right now for the MMO, and truly you love to see it because that team really clearly cares about this experience and has worked tirelessly to put in the work to make sure that it's a good game. So well done to them, and well done Square Enix. Our fourth and final story is I'm channeling. I only put this on here because I feel like being on Kind of Funny and seeing this story happening and then skipping it will earn me. I'll get punished. I'm a guest on these, but like I feel like Greg will still punch me in the face if I don't talk about this. Ernie Hudson says a new Ghostbusters game is definitely happening and confirms his involvement. This comes from Ghostbusters News, the website, which doesn't list a specific writer as far as I can tell, which is unfortunate. But it's from that website. A few months ago, we reported that a new Ghostbusters video game was in the works from developer Illphonic. The news broke after the co-founder of Illphonic, Raphael Sadiq, his name's Raphael Sadiq. Wow. Was a special.
It is him. It's
amazing.
him.
It is him.
It's him.
Oh, I did not know that.
It's him, dude.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. Oh, damn. Fair play. The Raphael Sadiq was a special guest on Quest Love Supreme podcast. Oh, well, I should have carried on reading, of course. Letting it slip that he was currently working on Ghostbusters. The past weekend at the Celebrity Fan Fest in San Antonio, Texas, Ghostbusters star Ernie Hudson was a special guest. Attractions included a variety of Ghostbusters theme happenings, such as an afterlife screening and a Q&A, which unexpectedly gave us a bit more insight into the upcoming video game. The information comes from the Countdown City Geeks YouTube channel, who've just uploaded the first part of Hudson's panel, which we'd suggest watching in its entirety by going to the website or that YouTube channel. When asked if he would take part in another Ghostbusters video game, Hudson said, "I just got an email because we're doing another video." I just got an email. I don't care about your video games. I got an email. This is the most exciting thing to happen to me in years. No, he didn't say that. He's like, "I just got an email because we're doing another video game." They're scheduling now to do the recording, and I'm not sure who is going to do it. I know me and Dan Aykroyd. I think. I'm not sure about Bill Murray. Will do anything on it. So there will be another video game, Hudson added. When they'll bring it out, I don't know, but it's definitely happening. Hudson also talked about the approval process of his likeness, saying, "They've been sending me prototypes of the character to get the image right, which they seem to have a hard time somehow creating my image. It's so weird to me that they can get Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis to look exactly like they look, but I end up looking like Eddie Murphy or somebody." Jesus. When it comes to any further details surrounding the game, Hudson admitted that aside from his involvement, he doesn't know much about the storyline or plot. As mentioned above, if you'd like to watch the part Ernie Hudson talks about in the panel at Celebrity Fan Fest, go to Countdown City Geeks YouTube channel and check that out. So, exciting. First of all, Ernie Hudson got an email. Secondly, there's a new Ghostbusters game in production coming from IllFonic.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where to say that where there's smoke, there's fire is silly because it's like the fire is already visible. Like Raphael was out there. Like when the studio themselves are like, "Yeah, we're doing this," it's like, cool. I guess it's happening. Like earlier, we're talking about like bad announcements and like the least hype way to announce something. I feel like this is. I mean, it would have been exciting to see a Ghostbusters reveal at a big showcase, like a state of play or something, right? But I think this is just funny that there's like, yeah, it's happening, guys. Like it's actually going down, and we have Ernie Hudson out here. Like I feel like we'll know everything about this game before it's even officially announced, just from people saying things they're not supposed to say. But I think it's one of those rare cases where it seems like nobody signed an NDA. So I feel like maybe it's not stuff they're not supposed to say. Maybe it is just like word of mouth. Go out there, promote this game.
Yeah. See, I'm excited for this, especially IllFonic. Like IllFonic makes some fun games. You know, they're quirky, sometimes a bit janky, but they give me enough fun to more than justify the price. And I know that there's going to be a good community, at least here at the KF crew, that are going to be into it. So I'm excited to jump back into that game, or jump into that game and jump back into one of those kind of experiences. It makes perfect sense that it will be IllFonic, that kind of like
totally
for their style brand of game. I hope they come up with a really cool way of like teaming up to capture ghosts.
Yeah, I mean 4v1 games. Ghostbusters is perfect, right? I mean, like, look, IllFonic, they're at this point they're known for IP-based 4v1 games. Ghostbusters, cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I hope they let me play as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That's all I want in life.
I can almost guarantee that if this game is what we all expect it to be, you'll be able to do just that, Tim.
So now, Tim, I have a question for you. Raphael Sadiq. I'm trying to remember what rap track shouts him out in my mind. There's a lyric that is like, I think it's like, "Yo, super freak physique," like Raphael Sadiq. But I'm trying to remember who it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got it. It's Wu-Tang. It's yours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's over. I asked my own question.
Yeah, you're right.
It will be. Yeah.
Just Google it.
It will be. So I reckon it will be a little while before we get to see and play that Ghostbusters game. But Tim, if I wanted to know what's coming to Mom and Grub shops today, where would I look?
The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform as listed by the Kinda Funny Games Daily show host each and every weekday.
Kevin? Is he all right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Kev. Thank you,
Kev.
I was like, do you want me to send someone to check on Kevin? Is he okay?
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Out today, we have what you gonna do with all that gunk inside your trunk. The
I'll
gunk.
get you. Gunk.
Xbox Series. The gunk is out for Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC, and is on Game Pass, I believe. Alien Isolation is out on iOS and Android. Trash Quest, the story of Tomo Hussein's life, is out on Switch. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach is out on PS5, PS4, and PC. Circus Pocus, good name, for Xbox One is out. Moon for PS5 and PS4, not the movie. Blackbird for PS5, PS4. My favorite Blackbird? Crows. Good bird. Alfred.
Wait. More than ravens?
Yeah, I picked you as a Raven guy.
I like crows and ravens on equal
Got
footing.
it, okay.
Oh, but they're different. It's like, I
know
like
they're very different.
brown bears and grizzly bears. Like, one is obviously cooler. It's the grizzly bear because it's double the size.
Yeah, I guess so. But like crows and ravens, I know they're very different. But for me, like my love for them is like equal. I can't pick. Like it's like I can't pick. I had a crow in the GameSpot US office. It was a fake stuffed crow, so it wasn't actually a crow that was,
cool.
but it was made to look real. And I nicknamed it Miyazaki, obviously. I had Miyazaki the crow watching over me at my desk constantly. Beautiful animals. I love them. There's a game called Alfred Hitchcock Vertigo for PC, which is wild. I do not understand what that means.
Wild.
There's some wild shit going on. I need to quickly look at that. And while I'm looking at that, I will tell you, Alfred Hitchcock, from the same place that I'm from in the UK. I don't. He has a movie called Vertigo, but I guess I don't know what this game is.
It's a game based on the movie.
It's weird, but yeah. Alfred Hitchcock's hometown hero for me. Big up, Alfred. Hope you're doing well wherever you are.
Oh, I got some bad news for you.
Why? What's wrong? What happened? Is Alfred okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He's
okay, cool. Okay, cool. Final Fantasy VII Remake for PC out today.
Hell yeah.
Excellent game. Banging soundtrack. 10 out of 10 GameSpot.com. Written by a reviewer you can trust.
Kind of Funny's Game of the Year 2020.
You love to see it. So good. I might replay that. Murder Diaries 3, Santa's Trail of Blood. What the
What? No.
Coming to Xbox One.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
I'm gonna check that out. After that, we have Sakura Santa coming to Switch. Dinosaur Jigsaw Puzzle Dino Puzzle game for kids and toddlers coming to Switch. I don't know. I feel like if you're an adult, you might get something out of that. This is a game called The Enigma Machine. But when I was looking at it, I had my cursor over the I and the G, so it read like the Enigma Machine, which is like
That's a different kind of machine.
Yeah, that's a different kind of game.
Yeah, totally different.
The Enigma Machine out for Switch. Omno, OMNO for Switch. Love Pop for Switch. Hashihime of the Old Book Town Append for Switch. Moonbound for Switch. RTO 3 for Wii U. If you're down for that, like, good luck.
How many copies do you think that game's gonna sell?
I reckon like at least 2.
I honestly think 0. I think
Really?
it might be bought by like a friend or a family member, but like I
feel
think
like
0.
I feel like there's a gaming savvy person who works at a retirement home somewhere who is so bored right now and like is probably like, they've got a Wii U, let's see what's going on, connects to the shop channel and like it's like, fuck, there's this new game, maybe I'll just download it, see what it's all about.
You know what? I'm gonna say actually I take back the 0. I'm gonna go to like 13. Because there's at least 13 people out there that want to have the entire collection and that are just like checking the Jared Petties of the world.
Yeah, Kind of Funny best friends in the new year, remind us to check in with the publisher of RTO through and we will try and get sales numbers. Yeah. We'll make this a thing where we try and get sales numbers to figure it out. Is this the game?
No, this is Omno.
Oh, this is Omno. Okay.
This looks really,
I might buy it. This looks really cool.
This looks great. Like this, somebody in chat was like, "Oh, you guys should check out Omno."
It's really cool. Yeah.
Look at that. You're a giant floating
Pretty sick.
What is
Oh, you
that?
got a stab attack.
Jellyfish.
That's good.
It's a jellyfish.
Jellyfish. Thank you,
Yeah,
Tim.
jellyfish. We also have Trash Sailors coming to PC.
Hell
we got a
yeah.
jingle.
Me and Tam sailing the
Yeah,
open
let's go.
seas,
Sailing
the trash
this,
sailors.
just trash bros. And then we have a game called Match 3 Pirates 2. What the fuck? Match 3 Pirates 2? Get a grip. It's out today on Steam. That was probably the longest the out today segment has ever gone, but you know how we do here.
That's how we do.
Your NVIDIA GeForce update for today, as always, we've partnered with NVIDIA to keep you updated on all the latest GeForce RTX additions to your favorite games. And today we want to tell you about a special PC. That's right. To celebrate the launch of The Matrix Resurrections in US theaters and on HBO Max on December 22nd, NVIDIA has partnered with Warner Brothers Pictures to bring GeForce gamers a chance to win one of 3 custom, officially licensed Matrix-themed modded PCs. These builds are one of a kind and built with the latest GeForce RTX graphics cards and are fully water-cooled and customized. Second prize is
squid on them.
They got a
Look at
squid,
that.
yeah,
Squiddy.
yeah, Squiddy. What were they called in the movies again?
Well, they called them squiddies at one point.
Oh, they call them
Yeah.
Squiddies, but they actually have names, right?
Yeah, I don't remember the
called.
actual name.
Let's just call them pursuers. Second prize is one
Sentinels.
Sentinels.
Oh,
That's the
Sentinels
one.
is right. Yeah.
Sentinels.
Yeah.
That's the one. I will be sticking with pursuers. Thank you. Second prize is one of 5 extremely rare custom Matrix Resurrections GPU backplates that can attach to a GeForce 3080 Ti graphics card or display as a super limited edition decorative item. The sweepstakes run from December 14th to December 22nd on NVIDIA's social channels. You can get more details and a bio on the PC builds that created these custom PCs on GeForce.com. And then after that, important, NVIDIA is going to present a special address on January 4th at the annual CES Expo once that is underway. So if you want to get up-to-date info on what is going down with NVIDIA, make sure you tune into that special address on January 4th. You can go to the website, NVIDIA.com events page, and you can see all the stuff they've got lined up for CES there. New dates, Hidden Deeps descents into early access. It goes on January the 24th. Deals, there's a couple of steelbook cases at Best Buy, which are pretty cool. They're going for like $5. You can get Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is a nice steelbook. Doom Eternal and Borderlands 3. Important, it's just the case. You're not getting the game inside of that. Rayman Origins, good game, is free through Ubisoft Connect PC right now. And if you want to get Shin Megami Tensei 5, you can get it on Amazon for $35. You'd love to see it.
Hell yeah.
Reader mail. I'm just going to double check. We've got one thing, but it's not a mail, but I'm going to double check if anyone sent anything in since we've been live. Quickly. We have got a couple of things, but first things first. Takibi says, not a question, but I just wanted to thank you for pulling me through the hardest period in my life. After 4 long years, I have finally gotten my PhD, and the Kind of Funny family have always made it easy for me to smile on my hardest days. Thank you all again for being so great at what you do, and I hope you have a great Christmas and Hogmanay New Year's in Scotland. Just want to give a shout out to Takibi. Well done. That is impressive. Congrats on getting your PhD.
Hell yeah. Congratulations. That is super cool.
Yeah, and also another shout out to the Kind of Funny best friends out there who have been amazing. Like, this has been a year where also I've spent a lot of time hanging around, actually being part of the community instead of just creeping around in the background. And it's been amazing. So, like, this is my last appearance on a Kind of Funny thing. So I want to thank everyone who's been so kind to me in jumping on stuff. And also want to thank you guys, the Kind of Funny crew, for inviting me on and giving me a place to talk about games at another place, and then, hanging out with me. It's been amazing, and I want to thank you for that.
Dude, thank you for being the best ever. I love doing shows with you about anything, and the fact that I get to do it with you every week for the last couple months has been fantastic. So thank you for being awesome. I'm sure this is not the end of us working together. 2022, we don't know what it looks like yet, but I think a lot of Tim Tams are going to be in your future, everybody.
Oh yeah, baby. I'm going to click on You're Wrong, but I fully anticipate there will be absolutely nothing in there. Oh no, there's stuff in here. So we got one from Nano, which is You're Wrong for Gamecast. No, don't give me You're Wrong for Gamecast. Take that shit elsewhere. We've got Nano saying Ubisoft just announced that Settlers is back. Congrats to fans of the Settlers. Final Fantasy XIV free trial goes up to level 60 and includes critically acclaimed first expansion, the Heaven Sword, all for free. That's from Nano again. And then Nano says, Tam, I hate to break it to you, but Alfred is no longer with us. What? He's dead?
Chat. It was clear that we were avoiding that. Hey, Tam, just so you're clear, when you say this is your last Games Daily, you mean for the year? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I just feel like, you didn't phrase that, so the chat's freaking out a little
Oh,
bit.
my bad. I mean, like, Greg's back, so you don't really need me anymore. So,
we need
I mean,
you. We'll
like,
figure it out.
I'm down. And
I
then,
I heard he doesn't want to work.
oh, really?
Yeah, it turns out unemployment's been great for him, so.
And then finally, MS Gambo says Shenmue 3 is free on Epic's Game Store until tomorrow morning. That's a good shout if you want to play Shenmue. Here's what I'll say: it's fine if you don't play Shenmue 3. You'll live. Tomorrow's hosts are Blessing and Janet. If you're watching after this, Mike and Blessing are playing the gunk. What you can do with all that gunk? If you want to catch that stream later, subscribe to youtube.com/kindoffunnyplays. Remember, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily, where each and every weekday live right here for the past year, we've been bringing you the nerdy news that you need to know about on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. It's been our pleasure, and we're going to do it again next year. We've got a Patreon post show for all those that are subbed at the silver level of patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. So stick around for that. Otherwise, until next time, laugh and grow fat.